There are applications out there like Hootsuite that are literally charging like $100 a month for a simple automation of uploading videos across every single social media platform on the internet. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that for free with this automation.
What?
Before we go any further, I want to actually show you how this automation works. So we're going to be grabbing records from an Airtable that we're going to build out together. It's going to then grab that information on make.com. It's going to download the files that are necessary for the automation. We're going to then upload it to a publicly viewable Google Drive, and then we're going to start routing it to the different social media channels. In this video today, we're just going to upload it automatically on YouTube. But if you go into this router option, you guys are going to see that we can add Facebook, we can add TikTok, we can add all these other different social media platforms to upload all simultaneously, and it's going to cost you $0 a month to do so. This entire blueprint, along with the Airtable blueprint, is going to be given to you for free in my school community in the description below. The first 100 people in the community will be getting the entire community for life. We're on like 30 members already, so get in there if you're interested in getting this blueprint for free. But without further ado, guys, let's hop into this breakdown. Cool thing about these automations is that they tie into each other. So the other tutorials that I've released in the past week or so are all going to be tied together in a mega tutorial, but you guys have to learn everything step by step before I introduce this massive marketing machine. Today, we're just gonna work on automatically uploading videos with a click of a button. Okay, so if that sounds cool, let's dive right in. So the first thing we gotta do is actually build out our Airtable database. So we're gonna click over here, start from scratch, and we're gonna open up a brand new Airtable base, and we're going to just name this auto upload test, and we're going to name this table user inputs. Next up, to keep track of every single new piece of data that gets put in, we're going to add this thing called an auto number. So this is just going to be called ID, and every single new piece of data that gets entered into this database is going to keep track of it with this auto number function. So basically, as you guys can see here, once this loads in, we have 1, 2, 3, and that number will never repeat. Only things that we're going to add into this table base is the information that's going to be uploaded onto YouTube. So like the description, the titles, the hashtags, other tutorials that show you different types of automations that'll create videos, just like my language converter automation and just like my auto dub automation. Okay, so once you have those end videos, then you head over to this part. We're gonna go over to this next column here, and we're gonna write description. So this can include all the tags that you want for your video, basically trying to hit the SEO on these different social media platforms. Next, we're going to write the caption. So usually a 1-sentence caption of what the actual video is about. And as you guys can see here in this drop-down menu, we're going to select this as a long text input. Next up, we can insert another column to the right. And the name of this is going to be called media. And the type of field is going to be an attachment. This is where your end video ends up going. So I'll show you all that in a sec. Next up, since we want this to be an actual automation, we're going to turn this into a checkbox field. So we're going to go over here and we're going to title this run upload with a question mark. I'm going to go into this field type and we're going to choose checkbox. Okay, you guys are going to see what this does in a bit, but basically just know that you're going to leave this blank for the time being. Now when you guys do scale this to multiple social medias at the same time, you're going to use this next tab to choose which social media platforms you want certain pieces of content to be uploaded on. And the reason why this is important is because some pieces of content that you create are just texts, so that'll go on like LinkedIn and Twitter. Some of them are going to be short form video, so that'll go on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram. Some of them will be long form video, so that can go on like LinkedIn and YouTube. And so there are all of these different options. And in this example, we're just going to keep things nice and simple. We're just going to click this multiple select field, and we're just going to write social media platforms. Okay. Once that happens, we can actually enter in the options. So the first option is going to be YouTube. Then we're going to add Facebook. We're going to add LinkedIn. And then we're going to add, let's just add like Instagram. But you can do literally every social media platform. We're just going to click save. And in today's example, we're just going to be uploading things on YouTube. So we're going to go into that drop-down menu that we just created, and we're going to select YouTube. Okay, now that that's been created, I'm actually going to drop in a test description, I'm going to drop in a test caption, and I'm going to drop in a media from a video that I created with my SaaS called autodub.ai. So I'm going to put that example up for you right now.
A good question. I mean, it's insane to be in year 20.
The video is basically LeBron James talking about how the fact that he's in year 22 of his NBA career and he still has to carry the Los Angeles Lakers. He just came off an insane game. So I think that this video is also going to do pretty well on social, so I can actually show you the result of that video that we uploaded. So in the description, I'm just going to write some key tags here. So I'm just going to write hashtag NBA memes. Okay, there's nothing too crazy about this short form video that I need to add in the description, but if this was a long form video, the description really plays a huge role in the search optimization of your content. So in this caption here, I'm just gonna write LeBron's reaction to playing another year in the NBA. Okay. So once that happens, we're gonna now change this grid view name. So it's called grid view right now. We don't like that. We're gonna call this all fields because this is where everything will go no matter what. And then we're gonna start to specify where these different rows should go depending on where they are in the process, right? So this is where that run upload function comes in play. So we're gonna click this grid view. We're gonna add a new grid, and this grid's gonna be called run upload. And basically what this does is it'll filter out all the different pieces of content that doesn't have all of the necessary elements to actually upload your video. So if we go into this filter tab here, we're going to click that. We're going to add a condition where the description is not empty. We're going to add another description where the caption is not empty. And then we're going to add another one where the attachment media file is not empty. Okay, that's 3. And the last thing we're going to do is go to this run upload checkbox is checked off. If you guys see in the background there, the row actually disappeared from this view. And that's because it didn't meet all of the requirements. So if we head over here and we check off run upload, it's actually going to come back into this view. And that is how we're going to use our automation to actually work. So we're actually almost done with Airtable. And if you made it this far, good job. And maybe drop a like because we're flying through this right now. But we're going to go and actually run this automation so that make.com knows when to receive it and from what location. So we're going to click on this add trigger. We're going to click when a record enters view. We're going to select the table, which was user inputs that we just made. And the view that we're going to choose is actually going to be this run upload view. So from there, we can actually choose the record that we just put in. So we're going to go there, and you can see here it was able to pull those results down with the successful check mark, and we can move on to the next step. Now the next step would be to update the record in the file so that things don't repeat in the automation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to user inputs. We're going to choose the record ID that comes from each individual Airtable record, and we're going to choose this run upload field, and we're going to uncheck it. Okay, you guys are going to see why in a sec, but if we run a test, you're going to see that the information has been updated. That looks good. We're going to add one more step here, and this is actually what we're going to use to make a connection between Airtable and Make. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this code from one of my previous automations, and you guys are going to get this code for free in my school community, so don't you worry about that. But if you're not in my school community, simply just copy and paste everything that I just wrote here. We're going to now delete this webhook, because what this information that you're seeing on the screen right here, where the information will be sent to. Okay, so we don't want this information to be sent to a different automation that we're building out. So we're going to get rid of that webhook, and we're going to start building out make.com. Okay, so we're going to leave this blank for the time being, and we're going to head over to make.com, and we're going to start a new scenario. So you guys are basically done with the Airtable. So that was really quick. You guys, went through that pretty fast. So that was nice. So quickly, we're just going to title this run upload test. Okay, cool. So the first module here, guys, we're gonna choose is this webhooks. Okay, so the beautiful thing about webhooks is that it's an instant trigger. And so in automations, we're obviously gonna want this to run without us actually touching anything. And so this is what you guys have to build out, especially if you guys are gonna be using this for your agencies. We're gonna click on custom webhook. Once we click OK, we should get a link. Okay, so this link is the exact same link that we deleted, but now it's going to go route it to this automation. So we're going to copy this to our clipboard. We're going to click OK, and then we're going to head back to our Airtable. So now that we're back in our Airtable here, we're just going to simply copy in that. We're just going to paste in that webhook, and we're going to test to see if this function is working. Okay, so that ran successfully. Now we're going to also add an input variable just so we get a little bit more exact results here. So we just want to write record ID. You just want to be also really careful of the capital lettering here. So the I is capitalized, and then you want to click the value, which is the record ID from Airtable. Everything looks good here. We can now click finish editing, and we have our automation set up to send the information to make.com every single time that new field gets put in with data. And as you guys can see, since we ran that test automation, it is now not in the run upload field because we made sure to uncheck that run upload checkbox. So you see this run upload checkbox is now gone. And so that's perfect because we're gonna use this to make sure we know what videos are uploaded, what videos are not uploaded, and so on and so forth. Let's head back into Make. Okay, so now that we have this webhook set up, we can actually run it through a test. So we're gonna click run once. We're gonna head back over to our Airtable. We're gonna checkbox the run upload. We're gonna go to our automations, and we're gonna click test action. And if you guys can notice in the top left corner, it says off for this automation, which is why we have to do this manually. But once I check this as on, every single time a piece of data goes into that graph, it just runs by itself. We have to do this right now because we're testing it. So if we head back to our automation, we're gonna see that we got the record ID. So that looks absolutely lovely, and we're gonna continue from there. So now that we have the record ID, we need to extract what's in it. So we're gonna get a record. We're gonna make a new base type for today, add a base. This is the base that we're working on right now, the auto upload test. We're gonna grant access. Now that that's been loaded in, we should have a base. So we have our base, auto upload test, and it should bring up those different tables. Perfect. So we have our user inputs. Awesome. And we're able to push that through. Okay. So that looks really good, but if you guys want, we can test this one more time. So we're gonna click run automation. We're gonna go back to our Airtable. We're gonna test this action one more time. We're gonna run this one more time. I made a mistake, wait for new data. Okay, test action. Okay, beautiful. So Airtable now received the information that we needed. So we have the captions, we have the descriptions, we have the media URL. We have everything that we need to move forward. So the file that we currently have, it is on make.com, but it's not as a downloaded file. So I like to have everything as downloaded files because it makes more sense in my brain. You got to think of this HTTP module that says get a file as basically like a downloader, okay? So whatever you're downloading will now be on make.com software. So I love that because it's easier for my brain to process. So we're gonna go into this media thing and we're gonna find that URL. Okay, so that URL, as you guys can see here, the reason why that second step in the automation is animating is because we're grabbing the information from there. But we got that URL, we're gonna click OK. So we know that that step's gonna work, so we don't have to test it, and we can move on to the next step. So the next thing I like to do is put things onto a Google Drive because Google Drive allows for publicly viewable files. And that's important because APIs need to go and access these files. We're gonna go into upload a file. We're just gonna grab the file that we just downloaded in the get a file module. Okay, so the first thing we have to do though, we have to give it a location to put the new video. So we're gonna go back to Google Drive. Okay guys, so the folder that I created was called auto upload test. I also added the date just because I'm building so many automations right now. It's kind of confusing, but all you really have to do here is make sure that it's publicly viewable. So here it says anyone with the link, that's perfect. And other thing we have to do here is just grab the folder ID. So the folder ID is always after the forward slash and before that question mark. You're now gonna grab it, head back to your make automation and paste it in. Now your downloaded video is gonna be on a publicly viewable web link, which is really good because your APIs are now going to have access to it. And now it gets kind of fun. So the next step here, we're going to add router. And so this router basically allows you to choose different directions to take your automation. So we're just going to write in router. It's in the part of the flow control options. And all we're going to do here is upload the video on YouTube. So there's only going to be one route that it actually ends up taking. But I want to just show you what this would look like at scale. So you would have your YouTube here. You would click upload a file. You go here, you would click Instagram for business, create a reel post. Then you would go here, you would type in, LinkedIn. Okay, boom, create a user text post, whatever, just some examples, right? And then we're gonna go to X. We're gonna post, a tweet on X or something like that. Do they have it? Twitter. Yep. Okay, so they have Twitter as well. So as you guys see here, boom, we now have 4 social medias that one piece of content can be uploaded to in one click, or even autonomously once this thing is live. In this example, guys, like I said, we're gonna delete all of these because we're just gonna worry about YouTube because they're all basically the same. We can also, once that YouTube video is uploaded, we can actually update the files in our Airtable. So we're actually gonna head back to Airtable. We're gonna add one more piece of data. Actually, we're gonna add 2 more pieces. So the first one is going to be video uploaded, question mark. And that will be a checkbox. And we're also going to get the post ID. And that will just be a single line text. So the post ID is really cool because once you have that, in the future, you can start doing some analytical stuff, seeing what your likes, views, shares, all that fun stuff are on each piece of content. For the time being, we're just gonna have that here. We're gonna head back to make. We're gonna add this last module. And we're gonna click update a record. Okay, so we're gonna choose that same base that we had for our first, for the first part of the Airtable automation. Okay, access has been granted. We're gonna go to our base. We're gonna grab that auto upload test. We're gonna go to user inputs. We're just going to put in our record ID. Okay, we don't have to touch that. We don't have to touch that. So video uploaded, we're going to turn to yes. And then post ID is this video ID. Okay, so this entire thing is now set up. We're going to click OK and exit out. And this already has the video of LeBron James already with the auto dub that we did with our software. So everything's ready to go with the upload. You can kind of also go in here and specify how you want your upload to go. So the last few things that we have to map out is actually what the video title is going to be, the description, and all that fun stuff. So video title is already in our record ID. We have it in the caption here. So LeBron's reaction to playing another year in the NBA in year 22. So that's going to be the caption of the video. The file is going to be grabbed from this get a file part of the automation. We can even add the video category. So we're going to choose sports. We can even choose the privacy status. So let's just say we want to publicly upload this. I'm going to explain why you want to do that instead of doing private uploads. So just bear with me here. And then in the description, we're going to add our SEO hashtags. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna click OK, and that looks good. The reason why I didn't set it as a private upload is because you see over here in the bottom left-hand corner, you can set this to actually schedule it out. So if you turn this on, you have this new scheduling option, and instead of choosing immediately as the data arrives, even though you have an instant webhook, you can also change it to running this automation at regular intervals. And so if I do this, I can now choose when I want these videos to upload, meaning if you make enough pieces of content and you put it into your Airtable base, it'll just upload automatically at a set period of time. So I think a good interval to do for videos is like 3 hours between each upload. So that's 180 minutes. And in 180 minutes, it'll just upload the current file that it's waiting for in the Airtable, okay? And it'll only do it one at a time. So if you stack in like 10 videos in your Airtable and then you go about your day, after 24 hours, you'll still have 2 videos left in your Airtable, but 8 pieces of content would have been uploaded over the course of those 24 hours on your behalf. So that's absolutely insanely powerful. Entire automation is set up, so we're gonna now click save. We're gonna go back and turn this off because we're still testing this out, right? So this automation is firing. We're just gonna head back to our Airtable because this automation is still off and we're testing. We're gonna click test action. This should give us a check mark. Okay, beautiful. And then the automation should be running. As you guys can see here, it did it in literally lightning speed. So it grabbed the webhook information. We then opened up what was in that webhook. We then downloaded the video file. We then uploaded the video file to a viewable share link, and then we routed it to upload on YouTube. And then it also probably updated itself on Airtable. So if we go back to Airtable, we go to our data, and we go to all fields. We should see that the video uploaded has been checked, and we have the post ID. And so another way that we can get the information out of this area is that if we add another condition, we go and video uploaded is also checked, because that means that the video is uploaded, so the automation should not be here anymore. Okay, so that notification just said this will get removed once the cache gets updated, but basically what that means is this checkbox allows this entire row to move on and make sure that we never re-upload the same video. The other thing obviously you guys are probably curious about is what happened to the video that was uploaded. So let's head over to YouTube and let's see. Okay, so this is my automation channel called Goated Sports Content. It's basically a vehicle that I'm using to scale my SaaS called AutoDub. But basically, if we just head over to our shorts, we can see that our video has been uploaded. So the caption is LeBron's reaction to playing another year in the NBA. If we go into our YouTube studio, we should be able to see that the description also has hashtags. So if that's there, then the entire automation is working. And as you guys can see here in the description, we have hashtag NBA memes and hashtag NBA. So everything worked. And let's watch the video real quick.
Your good question. I mean, it's insane to be in year 22 and still having to put these bums on my back like I'm carrying water to my family in the Sahara Desert.
But yeah, that's basically the entire tutorial, guys. If you liked what you saw, definitely like and subscribe. This is also just one piece of a massive automation, because I want to get to a point where I can teach you how to create an entire video from one click, and that video gets captioned and posted on any social media you want in one click. So the entire marketing flow. But you guys have to learn things step by step, and so did I. That's simply how this goes. The more practice that you put in, the better you get at these automations. So if you want this blueprint, it's in our school community. You can still get it for free. I'll see you on the next one.